I'm out of monster. It's 10 o'clock. So I'm going to be building this. And if I put it here, as I recall, each one of these can handle that. Have a good sleep, Mucky. That shouldn't be there. A little bit of on-the-fly editing here. What the heck? Let's just get rid of what we should. Place this blueprint down again. And then edit it. I think what I want to do is I'm more comfortable with this now than I used to be. Is just cutting this down to 9 instead of 10. If I do this, it's broken, so I need those. Of course, it also puts in a whole bunch of freaking wires I don't want. Hey, Faceless. So when it comes to this, what I'm mulling over is making this tileable. By putting this halfway in between, it ruins the 10. But I'm not so concerned about maximum usage, which, yeah, sounds odd. But how can I design something? So here's what I do now. Right? Belts are going to be there, power poles are going to be there. because the power poles are here and I want to stay inside the power poles,
High speed.
I want to go there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zinder, thank you. That's very kind. I appreciate that more than words can say. I'm also going to refactor where these go. Now, if I take just a column of this, and then I figure out the lamps and the power poles later. Because a column like this lets me put power poles anywhere. Now, how tileable is this? And I'm kind of looking at tiling this horizontally, but maybe I should look at doing it vertically. That wasn't placed correctly. So if I take these belts and I twist them down here and then I run them up here, how tileable is this? Given that I'm gonna be able to extend this, I could put another one here if I needed to. And I will. Question is, how much gap am I gonna need, because I need to bring water in. Because this is 10. And that's exactly 20. My God, that's beautiful. Oh, if I can get power poles to work in this, this is chef's kiss. Bellissimo. Alright, let's try and get some power poles to work up in this. I got lamps in here. I'll get you, lamps. I'll get you. I just didn't get you out of the way at first. Where this matters is here in the middle where I want it to tile. My goodness, my phone is blowing up this morning. I'm a popular guy. Commander guy, good morning. Hello. Things are going well. I've shut off my factory because I can't afford to run it, because I was running out of power, because I've overdrawn. So I'm designing a solid fuel production that uses advanced fuel processing. You can see here I have shut things off a few minutes ago. My blueprints for power use basic oil processing, and I don't want to do this here because A, it's very inefficient, And B, I got distracted into designing a new steam generator setup. That's normal, right? Squirrel. Well, Zoe was just saying that they got home from work and then played Factorio and for like 7 hours, and don't understand how people can play the game for only an hour. And I'm of the same camp. How does a human being play Factorio for only an hour or less than many hours? Zinder, yes, I don't use all burner inserters because they are unreliable. What will happen with a burner inserter, and well, what has happened to me with a burner inserter is that if this belt gets scarce at all, like there's a a glitch or a hiccup and this belt is not full, then what will happen is this burner inserter will reach for fuel, not get it, reach for fuel, not get it, reach for fuel, and run out of fuel. And then no matter whether I fix the problem or not and fuel comes in, this burner inserter's out of fuel and it won't come back. So I use it as a supplemental. It's too risky for me. I've had it fail on me a couple of times. I don't know the exact causes of when it fails, but I have seen it fail, and so I gave up on it. It's unacceptable to me that it sometimes will cause my entire base to shut down, because I can see it when it's failing, but I don't know what causes that. Yeah, efficiency is less of an issue, but yeah. Hi, Lauren. So for me, anything that isn't like dead nuts reliable, I don't want to have to deal with it. Yeah, Commander, that's one way to do it. I've considered stuff like that. But on the other hand, that's a lot of engineering effort for something that shouldn't happen, right? Now, having a nuclear power plant and then having solar to back it up to rebootstrap the nuclear, if you run out of fuel or something, that makes sense. Or like what I like to do is put a shutoff on my steam. I never get rid of my steam, but I have this power shutoff because nuclear takes precedence over, or Steam takes precedence over accumulators, and it appears that accumulators take precedence over nuclear or steam. So what I find myself having to do is, if I set up a solar plant, I have to find a way to shut off the steam plant, and that's what I use this for. It's a relay latch. Otherwise, these run and my accumulators never discharge. Mustache, I specifically don't use burner inserters for boilers. I use them as an alternate backup, just in case things go really poorly. Oh, I guess I forgot to put these in here. Well, update to the blueprint coming.
Yo.
They're not reliable to me. Hi, Smokin'. We have not discussed FFF yet. Did you have something specific about it? Yeah, it does look cool. Let me grab a monster, and when I come back, I do have some thoughts on it. So, BRB. Well, you know what, Smokin'? It is called quercetin. I will put it in my Discord. I'll get a link and put it there. So, Smokin', I posted a link Um, I'll explain it in a second. Let me finish what I was doing here. So here's the deal, Smokin'. The vitamin I recommended there that I posted is called quercetin. What it is, it's an anti-inflammatory, and it's especially effective in the sinus cavities, sinus pressures. What it was discovered by people who are bodybuilders, who are natural weightlifters and stuff. They needed something, quercetin. It's in the links in there, right to Amazon too. Thorne, by the way, who make the best vitamins in the world, pharmacy grade. They ain't cheap, but you know what you're getting. So what happened is the bodybuilders were trying to use it to relieve the inflammation from muscles from weightlifting, and they noticed that when allergy season came around, none of them had problems before again. So one of them started doing research, and they come to find out that quercetin's really good for sinuses. And there's a lot of stories about how good it is. My personal experiences, two of them. One, a person I know that I recommended, well, three actually. One, a person I know that I recommended used to have a tissue box in every room of their house because they constantly had a runny nose. After a week of quercetin, one tissue box. Another person had to take Sudafed daily during allergy season. The following year, when they tried quercetin, no Sudafed. Now, they had to start taking it weeks before allergy season, so January, February for them, because they were out west. Third person was a personal story. I was playing cards at a tournament. It's a weekly event thing, mini tournaments, Magic the Gathering. The guy across from me, he was going, offered him Halls, cough drop. And he said, no, it's a sinus thing. I've had it since I was a kid. And he's in his early 20s as a grad student at Duke. So I recommended this quercetin to him. And this was in November, just before Thanksgiving, one year. And I didn't see him again until January of the following year. And all I remember was that he comes and he bumps me on the elbow and goes, hey, I wanted to thank you for that recommendation. And I don't remember squat. You've heard me talk. I don't remember what I say 5 minutes ago. I don't even remember 3 months ago. I said, great, but I don't really remember. And he filled me in, and he goes, this is the first time in my life that I can remember that I haven't had sinus drip into my throat and causing that cough. It's an amazing improvement. So for some people, vitamin makes a huge amount of difference, just like anything else. It's not guaranteed to improve the situation. It's the qualifications. I'm not a doctor. I didn't sleep at Holiday Inn Express. And there's a reason that there's 4 different kinds of pain relievers, aspirin, acetaminophen, ibuprofen, and whatever the other one is. Because every body chemistry is different. Find the one that works for you. But for many people, quercetin works. So that's my story in question. Let me know if it helps you so I can add it to my list. Yeah, because ultimately knowing, I mean, who cares how it gets fixed as long as it gets fixed, but still. So for this, I think because I'm going with solid fuel, I'm going to be able to get away with this. Because it's not going to fill up, and I'm going to do another one. But that also means that I need to do this. Might as well extend this as far as I can. Or not, because I have a blueprint that gives me pipes at this exact position. This is fantastic. You go here, you go there, you go boss. Look, a fish. Or 5. Alright, so now we're assuming that if I double this, I'm going to get a full belt. So these two are going to come down to a full belt. The part that I'm discussing with myself here, should I build a buffer? What would a buffer do for me? And how big of a buffer should I build? So I think I will build a buffer. And I'll put some sort of alert thing on it. What we'll do is we'll prioritize the through lane. Well, if I use the same design I use in other places, I would be using this. But I'm going to do the opposite of it, is that I want this to be filled slowly and emptied by burners. Now, what do I want to tell this? If this thing goes down, if I put a solid fuel in here, first of all, what does solid fuel stack to? Items. Solid fuel stacks to 50, which is Garbo. So there's 500, 1,000, 2,000. So if this thing drops below 2,000, 4,000 total, but I really only care about the one of them. So if this drops, obviously I'm gonna need power here. Power. If this drops below 2,000, this is gonna seem weird what I'm about to do. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do here, but I want to set this up and then shut it off. I also need to get myself a solid fuel. So I guess I can build all of this and then work on this sensor. Hello, bots? Why are you not building closest? I need these things first. God, I hate bots. When they first flew out of my pocket here just now, I was like, oh, this is so awesome. Bots are going to build all this for me. And they're not doing it. Uh-huh. Alright, that's all I need from you, bots. I just needed some solid fuel so I could build this, design this, and build it. So what we're going to tell you, we're going to give you some power here. Alright, second point was FFF. So, of course, it's Friday, and everybody who streams Factorio has to pontificate about FFF. Alright, blah, 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 blah. My opinions don't matter. Why are you telling me you have no power? Yeah, that is perfect. So, space platforms. So, first off, we're going to have 4 planets, and we're going to have platforms. Right, so I wasn't really sure what they meant by platforms until just now. So basically, platforms are the equivalent of space exploration's spaceships. So they aren't really space platforms, because when I think of a platform, all right, they might be platforms in their mind, but as an American with the English language, when I think of platform, I think of something that's stationary, non-movable, and just there. I thought maybe orbiting space station is what I thought of when I saw space platform. I did not think large fuel-powered object that would travel you from planet to planet. Now, I realized that in the animation from the very first announcement of Space Age that they showed the thing had engines and it was moving. I thought that was a spaceship. I didn't realize that was their platform. Okay, cool. So now we have 4 surfaces for planets, right? Novice, and then 3 other planets. And you have remote viewing, and you're going to have surfaces for platforms. And based on the previous week's FFF, we saw that they had, for destinations, for remote viewing, they had the 4 planets that you could choose from, but they also had multiple platforms that you could choose from. And I thought those were orbiting the planets. But now that after reading this one, they're actually spaceships traveling between the planets, sort of thing. So that means that you can have a large number and dedicated types, kind of like we have trains, right? So if you think of them, and they are trains under the skin, right? They said that. It's going to use the train scheduler. So based on what cargo ships did with trains, they're just going to be trains. You're just not going to have to put rails down, right? So that means you're probably not going to be limited on how many platforms you have, although at a memory limitation, that sort of thing, you're going to have to deal with how many platforms you have out there. Fascinating implementation. I can't say I'm excited by it, but I am really intrigued. Because I can see, like they say at the end, are you going to make a platform that is small and specific, or large and massive? And I can see people posting things in Discord about, hey, check out my super efficient needle. Just like they do in games like Cosmo Tier, where you build a spaceship that is great for like a missile platform, or a laser, defense, or laser attack, or like Homeworld, where you have specific ships to do specific things. So they didn't call them spaceships, they called them platforms. But if you think about it, it's going to play out just like a spaceship. You're going to have a spaceship that is basically a cargo ship, and you're going to have a spaceship that is an exploration ship, and you're going to have a spaceship that is a builder ship. Kind of like you have trains now, and you have Spidertrons now. This is going to be an extension of that. And that is, while not exciting, mind you, I just had some fresh monster. While not exciting, it is intriguing because of the permutations that a person can have. And also, it makes a lot more sense than the remote viewing now. If you go back to previous week's FFF and you look at the left side of a couple of those displays, you see they've got planets and then they've got platforms. Makes a lot more sense. Because you build one of those hubs for a platform, and once you launch it, you now have a new surface in the game. And given what we've seen with games like Factorio and not Diggy so much, but there's a couple of other games like the RPG game where you go up and down levels, you can have a lot of surfaces and not have lag and not have UPS lag. Granted, they do have to have some impact, but I think it's going to be like trains. You get 400 trains, you start getting performance issues. All right, well, if I got 100 trains and 100 platforms, and I'm pretty much going to stop calling them platforms and call them spaceships, because that's what they are to me. We got boats, we got trains, we got spaceships, we got Spidertrons. They're ships, they're spaceships to me. Space vehicles, whatever. So what I want to know here... Oh, I told this thing not to let me have any of these. What I want to do, the traditional thing here is... Okay, so I turn off the volume, because fuck that thing. Show alert. The alert is going to be... powers. Pucked. And what it comes down to is that if everything in here is less than 2,000, then drum kit. This is what I historically use. This might be loud for a moment, I apologize. Yeah, that's fine. If I decide to turn on the volume, it won't be too terrible. So what'll happen here is that I'll see this message when this drops below 2,000. But there may be situations where I don't want it to pay attention. Right? And what's on here, what this is receiving, I can't see it because I didn't run enough red wire. Red wire, red wire. So we're going to take this away. We're going to have to go here and here. So now I can see it that it's at minus 1.9K. So it's not that it's at 2000. It's that if it's less than 0, and I love this, absolutely love this. This, okay, so right now it's complaining. But if I turn this off, I now have 11 on here because it's reading whatever's in here. And this should stop complaining. Because if it's, yeah, it stopped complaining. And if I take everything out of here, if it completely drains, what's on here is that it's 0. So why are you complaining that? Because what's on here, what are you seeing? Because this is putting out nothing. Why would you complain? What if I change this to anything? Does this go away? I don't like that delay. I don't like that it's telling me that... Yeah, okay. So I turn this on, and now it complains, and I turn it off. Okay, look, I got a red signal. I got a red wire coming in, and it goes away. And if I put this fuel back here... Okay, good. I like that. So why would I do that? Well, I want this set up, but this is going to take a long time to load this chest up. This chest is not going to load up quickly. And in the while it's loading up, it's going to be complaining the whole frickin' time until this has got 2,000 and something in it. I don't want to have to listen to that and watch that while it loads up. So I'll do that. This little combinator is going to let me turn it off. And then at some point in the future, I have to re-enable that power, or that combinator. So I'm working on this. In progress. Confirm. Alright, bots, you can get back to work now. I did not want this built. Jerks. So it's not even going to try and put stuff in storage. Give me this. And then I do want my input priority to be this. No, I want it the other way. I don't want you unloading. Even if you get stuff. Good. So you're gonna not accept this unless this is running out. I like that. Hi, Scotty. I am setting up additional power because I ran myself out of power. But I'm very happy with the results. Very happy. I was about to pontificate even more about what I don't know about the FFF. And I was also going to complain bitterly about how stupid these bots are, but I'm sure people are tired of hearing me complain bitterly about how stupid these bots are. Of course, it just occurred to me that if bots run on the same AI as trains, and space platforms are the same thing as a train, then space platforms are going to be dumb. Just like a train. That's quite a bit of work. All right, back to the FFF, which I do not have open and I am not currently looking at. But I should probably open it and take a look at it. Rockets, space platform, debris, and mining. Yeah, that's clever. I like that they made it a logistics thing because that's going to solve. Now, that's an important element. Something that Woob does that Factorio is kind of rare in doing that I really appreciate. I need some more pipes. They playtest to the point to make it smooth to play. Many companies don't go to that user experience level. They go to user interface level, but they don't go to user experience level. It's not a matter of just does it work, but how does it work? How does it feel? Is it tedious? You know, one of the games I enjoyed for a while was Graveyard Keeper, and Willow Rain is playing it. And it's a nice game, but they tried to keep the UI so simple that instead of adding one more box, they made you click 4 more times. There's a farming situation in the game where you till a piece of land, and then you can put fertilizer on it. So you click on what happens to the land, and then you have to click, instead of clicking a seed, or instead of having one extra box that is fertilizer and seed, because by mid-game you're always using fertilizer. Always. So instead of having that one extra box on the UI, they make you click once to select fertilizer, and then you have to select your fertilizer. And then once to select your seed, and then you have to select your seed. And you got to dismiss each of those dialogues after you select it. So you're clicking 4 more times rather than add one box to the UI. I can understand why they did it. I mean, aesthetics and all that happy stuff. But it's not fun. It's annoying, is what it is. And from my perspective, it comes down to they didn't play test it enough. They either stuck to their guns so much that they were completely unwilling to try a different modality of playing, or they didn't play test it enough. And considering they released a bunch of DLC, they could have, they had to have play tested a lot, which means that it was ideological in my opinion. But Woob isn't doing that. Woob is like, yeah, this sucked. I mean, that's what that line says. That line doesn't. It says we needed a way out, so we added 3 semi-separated features to fix this problem, right? But the problem was the actual gameplay produced by this system proved to be incredibly annoying very quickly. All right, you could have translated that to it sucked, because that's what that means. Lauren, is there a keyboard shortcut for selecting? Well, yeah, there was a keyboard shortcut for selecting that, but I don't remember it. Well, all right, and I'm a keyboard shortcut junkie, and I don't remember their keyboard shortcuts. So, what's gonna get me coverage on this? I forgot you played Graveyard Keeper. By the way, Willow Rain is. Lauren, I don't know. She's not playing it right now, but I'm going to give her a shout out because she's playing Oxygen Not Included. But in the evenings, she's been playing. Yeah, E. I didn't know R did it. So, yeah, I remember E now, but it was like E click. Yeah. And it would remember, after the DLC, it would remember what you had previously chosen. But the other thing is it obscured the fact that you could even use fertilizer. Because if you didn't know, you didn't know. So, Yeah, good point, Lauren. Anyways, this is going to be a shout out to Willow Rain for Lauren so that they can follow Willow and see their Graveyard Keeper run because I know how much you like it. WILLOWRAINIE. Yeah, and Lauren, I think the determining factor there was ideology, design ideology. The designer had something in mind and was not going to stray from it. Kind of like what sunk Good and Evil. Good and Evil was a great game, and the UI was lauded as being, you know, significant difference and improvement. Yeah, it was a pain in the butt. That's what it was. I should have gone back to my factory and gotten the correct power things, substations. That's enough oil for now, I think. I'll just let this finish out. Well, good thing that's enough, because I'm out of these. That should get my power requirements settled. I need another radar. Need you to not be in my way. Actually, given where it is, I'm going to use a super radar. Because that'll get me farther up into France in terms of visibility. Where's my car? Dude, where's my car? Dude. Alright, turn my factory back on. How you doing? Turns it on, right? Why are you still slow? A faceless. $144 steam engines. How many is this? 80. 364. Oh, I'll bet you because all those roboports have to fully charge, and once they fully charge, things will get better. I didn't want my train. No, I did do that. You have once again disappointed me. Yep. Roboport's fully charged, and we're back down to almost nothing. Although we're at 80%. I need another bank of these. Alright, but now I can use rate calculator to tell me how good I'm doing on this. Good. Nice. You could produce 3 belts, huh? That's good to know. I didn't think it would produce that much. Because I can upgrade that to red, and then it'll be good. Yeah, I don't care about the fuel. Yeah, I'm spot on all of that. So I'm overproducing solid fuel by almost 3 machines. 2 and some change. Which is fine with me. Consumption of solid fuel is 364 by 50 machines. You're telling me I've got 50 machines eating solid fuel. This is 80. I've got 40 machines eating solid fuel. So where do you get 50 machines eating solid fuel? Oh. Burner inserters. Okay. It's right there on the screen. So I pretty much nailed it here. And I've also pretty much maxed it out here. Because if I want to add more power, this is a full set. These boilers on Red Belt will fully consume this production. If I want to add another one, which I do because I'm low and I'm going to grow my factory, I